What's up, guys? Popo here. Thank you very much for coming to the channel. This is one thing that I love about this Denon DJ. Um, if you guys aren't used, if you guys are new to the channel, I go over tons of different tips and tricks on MPC workflow. Well, I just found out In Music owns MPC and also the Denon DJ. I didn't know they were with the same company. I thought the little blue wire they sent you was a dead giveaway. That was horrible to see when I unboxed it. I wish I would have recorded that. And then the foldable screen, same as the MPC X. However, this screen here, it just makes sense to me why they stopped focusing so much on the MPC series, because it looks like they've been focusing all of it right here. Now, if you look, you got all these little pads right over here, right? You got 16 velocity sensitive pads, and you have all these different modes: slicer, roll, loop, hot cue. I'm not going to demo this. I'm just going to go and be straightforward with you guys. This is something that I bought with my own money. This was not sent to me. This was not a, hey, I'm going to have to send it back, or I'm sorry that I did something. And this is mine. So you're going to get a good freaking review. Honest review on this. Is my first table. I don't like computers. And to be honest, if you want a real setup, you go with something like, damn. If you want a real setup, yeah, you go with two turntables and not that Behringer mixer that I have right there. That one right there, it's a bad review. How In Music is working with Behringer too. So here's another review for you. This mixer up here, this mixer right here, the little silver one in the middle, it'll get the signal through, but no, it's not. That's not where it's at, man. You don't. You you want to save up a little more money and buy something proper. Because that one, it'll get the job done, but it ain't gonna be nothing fantastic. Now, of course, I've worked with Akai for the last 4 or 5 years, but like I say, I think this is why they stopped paying attention to it. They've been putting a lot of work into something like this. The way that I use this, yeah, I just want to go over like how sensitive this is. I know on the Denon 4, this was super wobbly. Like you got total control over your stuff on here. I think it's really, really nice and touchy. But I'm not so much for the stems. It's because you do have the options to set your stems, and they do the acapella and the instrumental, which is super dope if you have that in here. I'm not gonna demonstrate that on here. I did on my last video, but I like to put my own songs on here. So my whole point is I was making my songs on the MPC, and I can put all of them in here. And actually, if you're not going to perform live, for an hour or 2 hours straight on an MPC, at least not me. So now I know I can put my music in here and I can analyze everything. It's super dope to be able to do this and make new music on top of it. Does it sound good? I think it sounds good. The audio that you're getting from my voice is coming straight in through this thing. So if you watch any of my other videos, I've struggled to have good audio, and I think this is super, super dope. Basically going from this into my camera XLR, so it's legit. It's giving me a good signal, and I got 4 channels. What this basically does for MPC users is allow you to use 4 different sequences at the same time, or four different songs. So it's super dope, and you can chop up your samples on these pads as well. And then you get these little turntables as well. So it's a lot bigger than the MPC X, I'd say by a foot. Other than that, as far as the workflow goes, I just don't want you guys to think like, oh, this dude gets this stuff and he does reviews on it. No, I actually bought this and I plan on keeping it. And like I say, it does sound good. It sounds great coming out of here. However, I have the Flux 3. It's a little bitty blue box. Um, I gotta show you guys because that's what I'm doing here. It's this little bitty blue box way in the back over here. You can see it every time that I talk, it'll light up back there. See those little green lights? That's the Flux 3, and that's where the turntables get plugged in. That gives me 96K. Now this here gives me good sound, but that little box right there, I I don't think that if the audio wasn't being passed through there before it hit the camera, that it would sound as good as it does here. So, I mean, you can go out and get the real deal and not have to worry about these slippy plates. My whole thing was I didn't want my needles to be playing back because I'll be sitting there and play back all day. I've already had one of the needle heads fall off on there, so I had to rescrew it on. It was a pain in the ass. So I'm sampling off of my real records. And then I also got the Serato blank discs, also the data discs. So that really, really is awesome. But to play it back and to mix it up like this, I like to have this controller right here. This is where my whole studio comes and it lands right in here. So I dig it a lot. As far as the stems go, they don't sound that great. Not yet, and it's still in beta, you know what I'm saying? But then again, it goes along with how that person mixed their song. If you plug it straight out of a headphone jack and it's going in here, it's not going to be able to separate. But if it was mixed correctly, yeah, it'll sound really, really nice. Now, I think that about wraps it up for today's video. I'm not, I haven't had this. There's been a few things on here where when I try to load a song, it'll load up, and if it sits too long, it'll disappear. But that could have been me. Like I say, I'm still new to the device. It's solid like a tank. I do like it, and look, and again, they give you a lot of XLRs on the back, and it sounds good. It's what they should have done to the MPC whenever it came out. They should have upgraded the sound in the back. I believe the inputs on here are a lot better than what the MPC has, which is a shame. But at the same time, it's what it is, and that's how I plan on using this in my workflow. I have my own songs in here, and I can load them to these separate tracks, and it's dope. I really like the way that this is set up. I really do. I really, really think it's dope. Why can't I hear that? There's no reason why. Ha. Like I said, I'm new. Again, I'm Popo, and I will see you guys on the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll put this thing to the test. It's in the studio. It's not going anywhere for a while. I absolutely love it. And I like how I can go right where I need to. It just feels like that dot follows my finger. You know what I'm saying? It's a little off, but still dope. And when you throw it back, I'll turn this down a little bit. Watch. It won't go like, it'll just go like. On the Denon Prime 4, I believe it was just, it would have still been going backwards, is my point.